I'm Reese, and this is Matt, and we are the Sidecar Guys. We're known as the Sidecar Guys as we've explored some of the world's most scenic environments, all on motorcycles with sidecars. But for our most recent trip, we decided to stick to UK soil to find out if you could really have an adventure in the UK. So far, we'd been places we'd never been to before, done things we'd never done either, had felt on occasion limited by some of the UK's restrictions to the wild, but with the trip coming to an end, after our most recent night's sleep, we could be in no doubt we were on an adventure.
So last night we found out that you really can have a proper adventure in the UK because I got covered in bed bugs and got bit into absolute crap and it's horrible. I mean, just look at that. I counted on my arm, I got 20 bites on this one arm last night. I shan't mention where we stayed because it was a really nice place and they were really nice people, but I give benefit of doubt. But we were really surprised when Reese woke up at 1 in the morning, slammed on the lights and shouted bed bugs, and I said stop overreacting, and then I looked down and I was crawling in them like a bush took a trial. There were ones you could see, like they were the size of a fingernail, and they really bite you. It's absolutely grim.
We hitched our way slowly back up north. Bedbugs on one of the final nights on the road was definitely not what we had in mind, but we were determined to not allow them to grate on us anymore. By now this trip was coming to a close. We'd seen some fantastic places to this point, and were grateful to have been given the opportunity to explore the UK. As we headed towards the Cotswolds, we met up with Justine from the BMIC. The BMIC had supported us on this UK trip, and we wanted to find out why.
Label Cover is radically overhauling motorcycle insurance within the UK and the European Union. We're providing software to motorcycle brands and communities and associations. We believe they have a huge amount of financial power that needs to be handed back to the riders themselves. Label Cover is community-based insurance for motorcycles, associations, rider clubs, and brands. Some of the key values that we believe in is the power of the community. We believe in conscientious consumerism, and we believe in sustainability and connecting with nature. And so all of these values that we believe in are built into our software. And so any brand or rider that signs up for our software will be able to be involved in that.
Chatting to Justine gave us a real insight into the Babel project. The idea of community within motorcycling is certainly not a new one, and it's definitely one to be valued. So anything with that as one of its core principles made sense to us. We'd in fact visited many people who saw just how important the idea of community was, but perhaps none more so than our final stop and the team at Mental Health Motorbike. Mental Health Motorbike is a community-led charity with the purpose of supporting the motorcycle industry's mental health. As we pulled up to go for a ride with the team, we managed to go for a sit down on a sidecar and grab a chat with founder Paul Oxbridge.
I've been a biker for 30 odd years, and I thought a lot of my friends have had their struggles and there just seems to be so little support out there. So we set up Mental Health Motorbike, and originally the aim was, it was one man and his dog going to a service station, giving out leaflets, going to bike events, giving out leaflets and trying to get men talking, and very, very quickly it just grew into something much bigger. So now we're actually 3 years on, we're a national charity. We're working with tens of thousands of bikers, and we're actually training as many bikers as possible in mental health first aid.
Well, I guess it's just got this whole community behind now, hasn't it? And so many amazing people.
It's very organic, and I think that's the strength of what we do. It's about being grassroots.
Yeah.
So instead of somebody coming up with an idea for it very high up, it's somebody that's like started from the bottom upwards. And I think that's what's captured a lot of people, because they see the relevance. They see, this is something I can probably get help from. And we are not doctors, we're not nurses. As a trained mental health first aider, you're somebody that can listen to a person's problem and help them put an action plan together so that they can support that person in lifting themselves out of that crisis that they might be in. So it's not rocket science what we're doing. I think that's the secret ingredient. It's grassroots, it's on motorbikes, it's very, very cool. We get a chance to go out there, meet lots of bikers, and we've got a very good tool that we use, which is the mental health first aid.
And is there like a kind of like, I don't know, a message, like it's an obvious question, but is there a message that for someone who was like, I don't know, watching this, or just in general who saw Mental Health Motorbike, is there sort of a message that you would want to give them if they were wanting to reach out or something like that?
I think if you're anything like me, I'm sort of born in the 80s, and I was brought up not to really show much about my emotions, not to show any weakness as a man, and I think that's a real issue for a lot of people still. And what we're trying to do is just break that stigma down. It's all right to talk.
Chatting with Paul was the perfect way to cap off our UK trip. Mental Health Motorbike were clearly doing incredible work within the motorcycle community that can only be commended. Over the past 10 days, we'd racked up over 1,000 miles and I caught up with some incredible people from the motorcycle community doing amazing things. We'd seen some truly iconic parts of the UK and on more than one occasion said this is one of the most spectacular views we'd ever seen. It had given us a greater appreciation for our homeland and definitely wouldn't be the last time we ventured across the UK by sidecar. Just as long as it didn't involve being eaten by bed bugs or being stung by bees.
We made it. Oh, that was a long wait, wasn't it? That was a long journey, man.
It was a long day actually.
Oh my god, I'm so cold.
Yeah. But in answer to the question, yes, you can have an adventure in the UK.
Yeah?
Yes, it's very scenic. Yes, there's a really cool community of motorcyclists out there in different parts. And yes, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, that's enough sidecarring for 1 week, mate.
Yeah, enough sidecar.
Nice week, that's plenty.
Yeah.